Alright, we're going to begin our painted skies, and to do so, remember we're going to be working with some very slow value changes. In a sense, we're going to be creating that blue value scale that we saw in that video, and we're going to start with white in the middle. Now, to begin, we're going to just take a little glob of white, and to be honest, I'm going to put my circle in the middle, start there, but you can start off to one corner or the top or the side. Really doesn't matter. If you don't start in the middle, your later value changes, you might only see like half of the circle. Like if I'm up in the corner, I'll just get kind of the half circle value changes. Whereas if I put it in the middle, I'll get kind of value changes on all sides. So let's go ahead and start. I'll put just a little kind of circle and with the white there. Now, I happen to have a little bit of blue on my brush there. That's okay. Remember, you can always go back and paint over things too. So, start with a little bit of white there. Then what I do is take just the tiniest bit of blue. Now, you and your table mates can decide to either kind of make your colors ahead of time in these different circles. You could work together to slowly change from light to dark blue. Or you can just kind of do it as you are making it. So I could almost start with some white in one spot here, take just a tiny bit of blue, mix it in, and then I could just kind of keep adding some blue to that pile there too. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. Your goal though is just to very, very slowly change that color. So now I'm going to go with this lighter blue right around my first circle there, the best that I can. And now what I want to do is try to blend this white circle and my first light blue circle together where they meet so that it becomes kind of hard to see where one color starts and one ends. So to do that, I'm just kind of cleaning off my brush to get rid of some of that blue. I'm going to dry it off a little bit too. But then I'm going to just dip it in my water and kind of scrape off some of the extra. Just so there's a little bit of water in here. This is going to help encourage those colors to mix when I go over where they meet. And so I'm just kind of going around right where the two met to try to soften up that line. Let's do another color. So now I'm going to add just a tiny bit more blue to here, making sure that it gets slightly darker than my last one. Okay, let's see how this looks. You can always test just by painting a little bit. That to me looks like it's a little bit of a change. I could have even gone a little bit lighter maybe. But let's just keep this one. We'll go right around the circle. I want to try not to leave like white spots in between, like my two circles. So I might have to go over it again. And then once I've created my next circle, remember, clean off your brush, dry it off, dip it in, scrape off the extra water, and then I'm going with my brush so it's halfway on my last one and halfway on my new one. And then I'm just going right around with that to try to get those colors to blend together a little bit more. Okay, like so. And then I just keep on going. Add a little more dark blue. And do the next one. And I just keep on doing this until I get all the way to the edges of my paper. Now, some of us, depending on how slow you do your changes, you may end up having to add black to your blue to complete all of your value, to complete your value scale. Just regardless, remember to take that time to go back where they meet to try to soften up that hard edge. I also encourage you to step back every now and then just to see how the illusion's working. If it looks like it's just very gradually changing from light to dark, then you're on the right track. If it seems like you went too dark on your newest circle, then that tells you that you just need to go back and lighten it up with a little more white. With paint, the great thing about paint is we can constantly paint over any mistakes and change it as needed. It's not done until we decide it's done. So if I end up realizing that that's too dark, I could just take a little bit of white on my brush and go back in and work it back in there to brighten it up. Okay? Then just use a little bit of water on your brush to smooth it all together. Okay? So, have fun. Keep on working with those light to dark blues and see what you can do. If you happen to get all the way to the end, raise your hand and I'll come check it out. But there you go. Have fun.